Welcome, Crusader fans, to another edition of the Valpo Coaches Show. Joining me this week, Horizon League champion coach, Kate State. Kate, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sure you're happy to be back because it means you're still playing after quite the weekend last weekend. Obviously, getting in the tournament the last day of the regular season, the 6th seed, and then have a pretty magical week, 4 straight wins to win the Horizon League title. And just the feeling around winning the league title, what it feels like to be able to lead the program back to the NCAA tournament.
Oh, I'm really excited for everybody. I'm excited that the seniors get to go out somewhere along in the postseason. I'm excited for everybody else that they get to experience the NCAA tournament, both the rest of my players and my staff. They haven't been there yet, and it really is a magical experience to be able to play. We one of 64 teams left playing this week. It's a special moment. It's one that a lot of teams work very hard to get to and don't get to. A lot of coaches work very hard to get to and don't get to. So for everybody involved in the program to get a chance to go and to be a part of that is great.
Looking back at the tournament, you mentioned last week on the Coaches Show about going in kind of with that chip on your shoulder where you've had to fight your way in the last couple weeks, and it certainly seems like that experience helped out during the tournament. And then just kind of the momentum that snowballed through the tournament, win after win. It's like you kind of build confidence. You know, you're competing with these teams, and you realize, hey, we can win this thing.
Yeah, I don't think there was any question even going into the tournament that we knew we could win it. And you know, once we beat Youngstown in that first game, it became more real. And then going and beating everybody else who was above us. We've beat every team in the conference this year, and so then we're not really intimidated by any team. And yeah, I think I'm not so sure that the momentum continued generating as much as we just stayed very consistent with what we did. We were up from the first pitch of that first game, and we were pretty consistent with that through the entire tournament.
Obviously, a lot went right during the week for you. We'd be here forever if we went into detail on everything, but I think the big thing, you go back, you look, that bottom of the 7th inning championship game against Wright State. Now, there was a little bit of a cushion. You knew you had another game if you did lose that game. But I went back and looked. It's been 15 years since a Valpo softball team rallied from 4 runs down in their final at-bat and ended up winning a game. So it's something that doesn't happen very often. And just how did the experience of the previous 2 weeks and the previous 3 games lead into that moment where the team knew, hey, we're down 4, but we're not done yet. We have the ability to come back from this.
Yeah, you know, we've started hitting better the last few weeks, so I think we had the confidence that we could score those runs in the 7th inning. And I think also, you know, Taylor's performance in the circle has given us the confidence that we can shut a team down once our offense does turn on. So we've seen that through the last couple weeks of regular season, and we saw it certainly through the beginning of conference tournament. So, you know, I don't think anyone in the dugout was looking at that cushion or looking toward that second game. I think we had a good part of the lineup up, and people thought that we were going to do it. And, you know, once Georgie got on with that error and we got kind of a squeaker through the infield with Steph, you know, having 2 runners on and no outs, and again, in a good part of our lineup, a part of our lineup that had been pretty productive all season, or in particular in the conference tournament, I think that belief started to grow. The dugout got louder, the stands got louder, and it worked out.
You mentioned the offense and that part of the lineup, the bottom of the lineup producing. You look at it, you know, 5 players hit over 300 for the tournament, and they're all spread out through the lineup, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, I believe it was. And, you know, you hit with runners in scoring position, which we've talked about before on the show earlier in the year, has been kind of a struggle. What was it that was working for the offense this week?
Yeah, I think it did help to have those hitters who were hot spread throughout the lineup, because then we didn't have a real momentum killer where we may have 3 or 4 people in a row who weren't doing well. We always had someone to pick them up, and you know, that's one of the reasons, and I talked about that, we had Laney down at 9. Laney was obviously very productive, the offensive player of the tournament, but she was down at 9 because she turned our order over so well, and she's definitely a threat down there. And so it didn't ever feel like we were at the bottom of the lineup or the top of the lineup. It was just move the line, get to the next batter, whomever that batter is.
You mentioned Laney, batter of the tournament MVP, Sam Stewart. Obviously, offensively, a few really key hits for you guys. But I think people don't realize the impact she has defensively as well back there every inning of the tournament, and really helped in tandem with Weisenhofer to shut teams down back there.
Yeah, Sam, I can't say enough good things about her performance behind the plate. She's grown into a very good catcher this year. She's taken the coaching well. She's become better at her strengths, and she's improved on her weaknesses. I think she carries herself well back there, and her rapport with the pitchers has been really good. And yeah, she's squatting back there every pitch. She's getting us strike calls. She's fist pumping. She's keeping Taylor locked in. All of those things make a huge difference in the game. And I'll take it a step farther, because Sam's not the only catcher that has a big impact on the games. We have Jenna in the bullpen all week, and she did a tremendous job getting everybody ready. Whether it was during conference tournament or any time throughout the season, it's not just Sam, even though Sam's the one that gets to be back there. And in particular, with Ashlyn coming in there at the end, Jenna was the one that got her ready. Monica, who calls the pitches, didn't watch Ashlyn warm up at all. And when Ashlyn goes in, Jenna's in Monica's ear telling her, here are the pitches on the outside and the inside that are working. Here are the ones she's throwing the best. And those are the ones we go out and we throw. So without having somebody in the bullpen like that we can trust to be locked in, that can communicate with our staff, I'm not sure we're here.
You mentioned, obviously, Weisenhofer's performance in the circle, tremendous. She was pitcher of the tournament. Called upon to do more in a 4-day stretch, work more than she has been her entire career. Can you just talk about, the fortitude to go out there day after day, especially those last couple days where I'm sure she wasn't feeling quite 100%, a little tired. The fortitude it takes to go out there and do that. And then, for Ashlyn to be able to call upon her in that situation in the 8th inning against Wright State and have the confidence she's going to be able to produce in that spot.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's postseason, so everyone's really riding their horse, and Taylor's our horse. So we were going to ride her until we couldn't anymore. And you're right, totally a gutsy performance by Taylor. She didn't have her best velocity by any means against UIC, so on Saturday we were wondering what we were going to get out of her, and her first pitch popped the glove, and it felt like Rookie of the Year. She had something in her, and it was great to see her, and that momentum after that first pitch, we knew that was our game, and she carried us through as far as she physically could, and we had no doubt Ashlyn was ready. We told all of our pitchers that they needed to be ready to go because we were going to ride Taylor, and we'll see how long it goes. And Sierra and Molly and Ashlyn were all in the bullpen, getting ready, waiting for that moment should we need it, and we needed it in one of the most key moments of the tournament, and Ashlyn had proved to us before she could do it. She's had a really good last 3 or 4 weeks in her development, and when we put her in the circle, and like I said, with Jenna kind of giving us the inside information on what was working best for her, we were very confident. I told the infielders while she was warming up, okay, Ashlyn's going to get us 2 ground balls. So we know that's what Ashlyn does, and both Carly and Georgie locked it down.
One of the best moments, if not the best moment of the weekend, I think, had to be with Andy Kalemba, being with the team, able to be with the team all 4 days, which you've talked about before, really brings that boost to the team. But having her introduced before the championship game as a team member, and then seeing her get the award as a team member after the game, just, how does it feel to see the impact, see her get to be a part of that, get to take home a trophy?
Yeah, that's the most magic of the magical weekend for sure. Having Andy there is a blessing. It's incredibly special. I'm grateful that her parents let her skip out on school to come to a few days of softball. I think in the long run, it'll be the better decision. And I'm really excited because Andy's going to be an official part of our party when we head up to Michigan. So she'll be there with us the whole way there as well, as it should be, because she's as much a member of this team as anybody. And I couldn't be happier with my team and how we've embraced Andy and how she's embraced us, and just how quickly and genuinely that relationship is built.
Well, we look ahead now to this weekend. The NCAA tournament, still playing softball, as you mentioned, one of just 64 teams remaining. Tough first-round draw, as expected, as playing number 2 Michigan up in Ann Arbor on Friday, and the other 2 teams in the regional. A Notre Dame team we were competitive with in the fall and in the spring. Mm-hmm. And then MAC champions Miami, Ohio. We've had some success against MAC teams this year. And I guess, is there any difference to the approach going into this week, even though, I'm obviously the players know Michigan, they watch them play on TV all the time. Now they're going to be facing off against them. But is there any difference, or is it just the same, hitting, pitching, defense practice, and go out there and be ready to play Friday?
No, there's no difference to the approach. Our approach has been great. It's been what we've wanted all year. They're having fun, they're staying loose, but at the same time they're very focused. They're focused on each other. They're giving each other their energy. Our hitting warm-ups the last couple weeks have been a lot more focused on hitting and on the success of the teammate that's swinging at the time. I expect that to carry over. I expect that to carry over into all the innings we play up in Michigan. We have a loud dugout. We have a dugout that is really, like I said, pushing all in the same direction right now, and I expect that happens as far as we go into the postseason.
Well, those games, as I said, starting off Friday, 6 p.m. Central Time against Michigan, and then continuing Saturday and into Sunday as well. Broadcast information will be available shortly, but for all your updates, you can always follow Valpo Softball on Twitter, Valpo Athletics on both Twitter and Facebook as well. Well, Kate, thanks for being here today. Good luck this weekend, and congratulations on the league title.
Thank you.
Until next time, I'm Aaron Levitt. Go Crusaders.